characters alive. On today's show, we will have 4 special guest appearances.
I'm Sydney Carton from A Tale of Two Cities.
I'm Hassan from The Callaghan.
I'm Macbeth from Macbeth.
I'm Paul from All Quiet on the Western Front.
Today, we will be talking about loyalty and sacrifice. So, Hassan, what is the most prominent experience of your life that comes to mind when you think of the word loyalty?
Well, I don't know. I don't really think of myself as a loyal person, but I've heard that the word loyalty means that no matter what, you do anything for that person, and that's exactly how I feel about Amir. My father, Ali, and I were in a position of obligatory loyalty to Baba and Amir because we were their servants, but I personally feel loyal to Amir in my heart. Not because of racial or religious status, but because of true loyalty. I feel like I would do anything for Amir, and no matter what direction life goes, I want to be right there beside him. I always want to do anything if I know it will benefit Amir.
Hassan, why do you always have to be so holy? Come on, Hassan, get mad at me. Hit me back.
So, Sydney, do you feel loyal to Darnay, and if so, how do your actions show this?
I do feel loyal to Darnay because when I took his place, I showed my loyalty because at the end of my life, I wanted to do something that would be meaningful and give my life some sort of purpose that I didn't feel I had before I made the decision to switch places with him.
Paul, you were the main character of All Quiet on the Western Front. How do you think loyalty was incorporated in your role?
My role involved getting close to a lot of other soldiers, and it involved being loyal because you have to have someone's back when you're like in war. And I don't know, it just showed when I went with Crop and I faked my injury just so that he wouldn't have to be alone, and that was really risky. So I don't know, I just feel like that showed some of my loyalty.
So, are you sure that you're really sick? Your symptoms seem a little strange.
Yes.
I've never seen anyone with orange chicken pox.
I'm sick.
Now, Macbeth, what role does loyalty play in your character's downfall?
My unfaltering devotion towards my wife is what led to this intense loyalty, is what led to the corruption of my morals and caused me to kill the king of my country and order the assassination of my close friend and confidant, Banquo.
Ah, King Duncan, your time has come!
After becoming a soldier, what kind of sacrifices did you make over your time in the military?
I went into the army because all my friends were doing it and because Cantor convinced us all to. And when I first started actually being in battle, it was really scary. But you learn to get over the fact that you're killing people, and you have to realize that the only way to survive is to think of yourself and your comrades first. My biggest thing I think that I sacrificed was my youth and my mindset. I went home on my leave and I just felt like I was going crazy. I didn't want to be home. I just wanted to be out on the battlefield fighting to save my friends. So I don't know. I could never really feel like a boy again, even though I was so young. Also, the sacrifice of life and losing people that I went through so much with, and just watching them die. That was hard.
So, Macbeth, do you regret sacrificing the life you had before killing Duncan? If so, then at what point did you realize you had made a mistake? I realize now that sacrificing my status, friends, family, dignity, and morals just for a chance to be king was a mistake. Although I felt immense guilt after killing Duncan, it wasn't until Macduff was about to march on my castle that I realized I was in for it.
Well, when Asef and his group cornered me in the alley and gave me the option to be set free if only I gave them the blue kite, I knew it wasn't an option because Amir won the kite, so the kite belonged to him. There wasn't anything those boys could have done to make me sacrifice my loyalty to Amir, not because of religious or social class, but as a friend. Although Amir never really wanted to play with me after Asef took advantage of me, I always wanted to play with him, and I just wanted things to be the same. Also, when Amir framed me and I lied to Baba and said I had stolen the watch, I knew that was what Amir wanted, so that was all that I wanted.
So, Sydney, what did it feel like to sacrifice your life for Darnay? And do you regret your decision?
Well, similar to loyalty, I felt really like it was my obligation to be loyal to Darnay and his family, and it felt really relieving, and like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders from before. And at that moment, I realized like the greatest purpose of my life was to give my life up for Darnay and his family so that they can enjoy the rest of their life. And I really liked the feeling of being needed and having a position in my life that meant something to people. And when I stood there right before I died, I finally understood that the redemption in my actions, and it was a sense of relief, and it validated my choice to give up my life for Darnay and his family, and I don't regret it at all.
Darnay Charles.